Welcome back to WaterparkRanger's Let's Play Kingdom Hearts. In the last episode, we finally ran aground of Riku and Pinocchio, almost sounding like there's some kind of island. Or archipelago, as the case would be, with multiple islands. Anyway, we met them, and what happened was Riku kind of betrayed us and kidnapped Pinocchio, figuring that because Pinocchio didn't have a heart, ergo, vis-a-vis, he's the key to saving Kairi. Makes no sense, but it provides the game makers apparently enough incentive for us to explore Monstro for a bit longer. Now, you could actually have finished Monstro a little bit earlier. We could have finished Monstro last episode, in fact. But the reason I didn't was because I got sidetracked and went after some extra things that I could have only gotten with a high jump and wanted to get. That way I didn't have to come back to crappy Monstro later, because I hate this world. After we finish it, I don't want to come back here. I know there's a White Trinity, but the problem is some White Trinities just have gummy ship pieces. They might seem like they're really valuable and stuff, but some only have white gummy ship pieces. It's funny that I'm mentioning something that's probably not going to be important until like episode 58, but there you have it. We're thinking to the future, White Trinities, and why some of them don't matter, including the one probably in Monstro. Anyway, the idea here is that all you really have to do after you get the high jump is just in the mouth, jump up to this new area that you saw me get to when I was talking about that BS about archipelagos and Riku and Pinocchio earlier on in the episode. Just jump up here and then get to the top, and then in the final room you pretty much end Monstro. That's it. That's all you have to do. So that's why this place can be finished pretty quickly. Also, green requiems, those little green magician things that you see floating around, I've noticed that they seem to be highly resilient to all kinds of magic that you cast at them, and so I recommend only going after them with physical attacks. Because I've seen, like, as with the red, blue, and yellow mages, if you hit them with their respective elements that they wield against you, they're just going to regain their HP, and that's just bad news for you. So, and apparently green ones will apparently just absorb any magic you throw at them. I don't know if that's the same with gravity, because gravity is just really powerful, so I'm not sure if they can absorb that and turn it into HP. I honestly might be surprised if they could. Anyway, you might be noticing, this room has a lot, even with a high jump. The platforms are made really annoying because you have all these enemies. Now, I'll tell you, this is actually the first time I have ever played the game and encountered enemies in this room that are not just blue mushrooms that are just in the way for a second. Usually I'm so lucky, all that happens is just like some blue mushrooms appear, those little rare truffles. I'm not sure if we've encountered them yet in the LP. I know we found white mushrooms. Usually there's only 3 blue mushrooms that don't fight you in that room, but this time I got a bunch of heartless, so there you have it. The game's apparently, I guess there's the Let's Play curse, guys. The game actually being harder to play. Oh, and random things, I've been playing more Super Paper Mario lately, the game that I was really skeptical about, and it's really quite fun. I mean, I don't know if it's one of those games that I'd feel like playing again after I finished it. Ergo, I don't think I'd ever be doing a Let's Play for that game, unfortunately. Who knows, time may tell. I mean, I can't tell the future. I just don't feel like I'd ever really do a Super Paper Mario Let's Play. Don't know why I'm talking about that during Kingdom Hearts cutscene, I don't know. Oh, Jiminy! Jiminy disappeared. He, like, almost never appears. And the strangest thing, I've been seeing more Kingdom Hearts, like the Japanese version. The voice acting that they do for, like, Donald and Goofy in Japanese, if you've never heard it, like, it just sounds really strange hearing them speak in Japanese. Especially because I listened to this interview with a guy who does Goofy for Kingdom Hearts in English, and he said that he actually drew his interpretation of Goofy for Kingdom Hearts from listening to the guy who does the voice of Goofy in the original Japanese version. And the guy who did the original voice of Goofy in the Japanese version took his from the original Goofy from before Kingdom Hearts. Talk about weird time shit. That's like a paradox. Or just everybody being incredibly punked by the guy who originally did Goofy. Anyway, yes, they were too unoriginal to come up with a new boss, so the boss of Monstro is just a meaner version of Parasite Cage who doesn't even have a different name. Gravity does menial damage to Parasite Cage. By this point, I would recommend equipping Arrow just because it's useful enough. His tentacles would do a bit more damage now. They apparently have a larger charge hit, which does a bit more damage. He has more HP, as you can see. And as you can hear, there's the generic, slightly stronger boss music playing in the background. You might have noticed that there are, like, a certain variety of boss themes in this game. There's, like, the normal one that plays when you're fighting, like, a standard boss, like Guard Armor or Trickmaster or the first Parasite Cage. The slightly more ominous one that appears when you're usually fighting a second stage boss, like Opposite Armor, or this Parasite Cage, or Genie's Bar. And then there's the one that's just for when you're fighting random Disney villains, like First Stage Jafar, but we haven't actually heard that a lot. Which is going to change, we're going to hear that a lot also. In case you didn't know, I'm kind of a junkie for video game music, so I can quickly pay attention to stuff. And generally, just for music in general, I have a good ear for stuff, so I'll remember music and remember what it's from usually pretty well. I just have a good memory for music. Musicians are kind of a thing in my family. In fact, as a kid, I really enjoyed playing the drums. Another little trivia fact. I was really quite good at it. I'm not even kidding you, from like ages 3 or 4. And also, apparently, don't fall into acid around the boss. That will hurt you a little bit, in case you didn't know. He also has a poison breath attack, which he never got a chance to use on us, but he might have been preparing to do it right then. That's really all there is to Parasite Cage. And he just gets stunned a lot more. In fact, I might say he's a little bit... Even though he's stronger, he's in some ways easier than the first time, because he keeps getting stunned, like, relentlessly. Or maybe that was just me getting lucky again. Luck is very tricky. Luck is very difficult to manage. You can't just rely on luck.
Where are you?
Unless you're one of those people who just happen to have all the luck. And we have Stop. Awesome. I'm never going to use that. Oh wait, I will. But, never mind. Stop is one of those things that just takes too much MP to be used in any normal situation. I don't know, honestly, if it really works on bosses, or for the record, like, I've just never used Stop in a standard situation before.
So, Kyrie's like a
it just takes way too much MP, like, why not just fight things normally? Do you really have to stop them and be that cheap? Like, if you're a mage, there's literally no reason to use Stop. If you're a mage, you just use gravity and you're strong enough to just kill enemies nearly instantly with that. So, there's no reason to slow down an enemy just for something you can just hit them at any point with a spell like gravity. And if you're a sword fighter, like, Stop is useless because you're going to be conserving your MP typically for MP. Like for healing, because usually what will happen is you don't want to get rid of the staff. I honestly think one of the worst things you can do in the game is throw away the staff. That's a horrible decision. Throwing away the sword, some people can understand. I just hate that because I like to have strong melee attacks. Plenty of people say that Sora's offensive capabilities are decent enough as they are. And maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. Maybe. I've yet to meet a man who can outsmart Keyblade. And after you finish off Parasite Cage, strangely what happens is... I think what happens is Monster sneezes you out, if I remember correctly. Which is just like... Now, I don't know if this actually happened in the original Pinocchio, but I know this happened in Finding Nemo. And who knows, this might have happened in the original Pinocchio. Oh, a little trivia about Pinocchio, the original film, in case you didn't know. There's this famous artist named Bill Peet. He's made some children's books. And he was originally a Disney animator who worked on the Pinocchio movie under Walt Disney. He was one of the original animators. And he originally did this bit in Pinocchio, which apparently revolved around this entire world, which had monsters in it. And I'll admit, it sounded kind of stupid, but it sounded like he put so much work and time into it. And let's face it, Pinocchio has already had so much random stuff into it. A world filled with monsters wouldn't have made too much of a difference. And who knows, it might have been cool. But anyway, what happened is, after he finished all the work on it, spent like a good year on it, or at least many months, it was almost all up to him, creating this entire huge sequence of like animated monsters and all this spectacular splendor. And then what happened was, Walt Disney just said, okay, we're not doing it, and then scrapped it, which caused Bill Peet to quit. Pretty interesting story, I think, because, well, I like learning about Disney's history. Typically, whenever I get into an LP about a game, I learn a lot more about the making of that game, and the company, perhaps more than I'd like to. But it's kind of fun all the same, so it's like a learning experience for everyone. You learn how to play the game, and I learned everything else about it. Because I have not done a blind LP yet. Someday I like to do one. But so far, as you know, all my episodes are post-commentary. That's just the way I'm used to doing it. I'm sure I could do a good one, like, right off the mark. I've been playing Final Fantasy VI recently, and I've started to think, like, some parts of it I've just had such funny reactions to without anybody being nearby. I would have liked to have done a blind LP of that, but it's a little bit too late for that at this point. Or is it? I might just stop and then wait till some point in the future. Chances of that happening are very slim, though. Don't want to get your hopes up. The future is endless possibilities. What can I say? There's so many games out there to play. I haven't really thought of any decent stopping point. Anyway, we're just coming back to the Moogles because we do have some more items, so to synthesize with the equipment we currently have on us. Not much, but, you know, we do what we can. Also, there's gonna be a new difference. I think at some point, one of the stores, the item stores, like with Huey, Dewey, and Louie, not the one with that guy down there who's running the store below the synthesis shop, but the other one with Huey, Dewey, and Louie, that one will eventually have better equips for us. Not sure if that's already happened. We may have visited it once in the past. I probably just don't remember. After all, we come to Traverse Town so frequently. And we basically are going to be coming here for every world that we finish. That's a lot of future travels, folks. That's why they call it Traverse Town. And yeah, after you finish Monstro, somehow Geppetto and Pinocchio miraculously make it back. I guess they finally built a gummy ship. And... wait, Leon helped them? That doesn't even make sense! Ah, whatever. Anyway, after they get this house, which is kind of cool because then you have a new place in Traverse Town to explore, just check out their house a little bit. And no, you don't actually get Geppetto, that's just some weird gummy ship item. No, Geppetto's a summon. How awesome would that be? Like, what would Geppetto even do? Anyway, yeah, Pinocchio, we don't care. You guys don't have anything for us. Open the treasure chest over here to actually get a Keyblade, Wishing Star. I think it has a good critical hit, but it's too short for me to use under normal circumstances. I just don't like that it has very low reach. Sid, once again, that's just a weird gummy ship item. You can get different gummy ship items from him at different parts of the story, I'm sure. I don't know what they actually do. I know that we have a Cactar, and so that's awesome. And at the moment, apparently he's not giving us anything else. Now, over here, check this random item to get a postcard. I think that may be all of them. That random thing right there. Just target it and check it. And honestly, that's all there is to it. Now, I'm just switching around our equips. I can show you what Wishing Star looks like. You see, it's a little bit weaker, but it always finishes with a critical blow, so it's really your playstyle, and I prefer to be more consistent. See you next time.